Oh, hello everybody. Hey, welcome to another edition of Luther on Luther. And what we're going to do today is we're trying to remind y'all that daylight savings time's coming up. You know, and this Sunday you got to be prepared. But maybe you can start thinking, where did this all come from anyway? You know, most of us think that it came from Ben Franklin, you know. But Ben Franklin, he didn't actually start it. Many people get him confused because one or two reasons. One, because he was all big into that early to bed, early to rise thing. Or he told the French government they could save tons of money if they'd worked during daylight hours. Or because they get it confused with another initiative that Ben Franklin had, which was daylight shavings time, you know. Just a way that he tried to institute something to cut back on the people cutting themselves while shaving at dark, you know. So he instituted daylight shavings. And it wasn't until William Willett was the one who first said something about daylight savings, and he called it summertime. And he said, man, in England, we need to put our clocks forward 80 minutes and have a summertime, which was also the theme of a peer-reviewed essay by the William Smith in the late 90s. And it was so popular that people actually recorded a video about it. You should look that up on YouTube. But it wasn't actually taken into effect until Germany put it into effect in 1916, where they did daylight saving, followed then by England, and then followed by us in the US. But it was kind of a crazy time, because then people just started moving their time forward and backward, all sorts of things, so that you had all these different time zones. Like at one point, Iowa had at least 23 different time zones. So the world was all crazy at that time. And so then it wasn't until 1966, when they signed the Uniform Time Act, that they all brought it together and instituted for us in the United States. But you know that Hawaii and Arizona actually are the only two states that don't participate in daylight savings. So if you're driving through Hawaii this weekend, you won't have to set your clock back. It'll just stay the same, you know. So all that to say is, for you this Sunday, it's important that you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and set your clock forward. Because if you don't, your clocks will be wrong and you'll be all messed up for a couple of days. You'll be confused about why people aren't on time for things, you know. So make sure you do that this Sunday morning. Set your clock forward, and then we will join you again next week for Luther on Luther, where we're going to look into family relationships, and we're going to use one of the patriarchs of the Jewish religion, Moses, to talk about how people are related, and we'll talk about how Moses' favorite first cousin is himself. See you then.